Hello, I'm Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director and founder of Vocal Lessons and organist choirmaster at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. So each day I've selected a different composer, one that has had a role to play with both organizations. Today it's the British composer William Byrd, one of the great Renaissance composers. I guess I was attracted to his music partly because though the name Brunelle is French, on my mother's side it was Newton, and I loved the fact that my grandfather's name was Charles Wellington Newton, very British. William Byrd, born in 1540, died in 1623. He was not only a composer, he was an organist. In 1575, along with Thomas Tallis, they got a patent which was given to them by Queen Elizabeth I to print a series of motets. And talk about being savvy. They did 34 motets. Each of them did 17, and the reason they did that number was because Queen Elizabeth was in the 17th year of her reign, and so therefore that made sense. In the 1570s, Byrd became Catholic, which in those days was not necessarily a good thing, so he was rather quiet about that. However, he did compose 50 Latin motets, and I have to say, to play through the volumes of music by Byrd is just great. It's such wonderful music. So here is one of his little pieces, the beginning of it, which I've always thought was one of his most elegant, though very simple in terms of movement. It's called Ave Verum Corpus, Hail True Body. And I think what I love about it is that you have the chord Ave. And you have to remember that in the Renaissance, there was a lot of descriptive music being written. So if you had the chord Ave or Hail, and you were sort of bowing, and you had this chord, you likely then had to bow. You see, you have this, and then this. But the next chord on the word verum, or true, had to be something quite amazing. In today's world, it probably doesn't sound like much, but in the Renaissance, to have gone from here to here, and then to here, would have been almost like hearing something really unusual. But that was William Byrd. So the opening sounded. So you can see the very kind of devotional sense of that music. Now, not all of William Byrd's music was soft and slow and devotional. He wrote a piece for Advent, another piece that has been sung a number of times here at Plymouth Church. His setting of Vigilate, the words, be watchful. And in this one, you have just so much energy and movement. It was written for it was written for soprano, alto, tenor, and 2 basses. So you have this opening. So you had that very strong feeling of be watchful, be watchful. And then it goes on, and later it says, be careful if you might be sleeping. And then you hear the music sort of go to sleep when it does this. And then suddenly it says, or if not sleeping, if when the rooster crows, and suddenly the rooster comes out in the basses. It's wonderful music. Every piece of William Byrd's has something descriptive that happens with the music, both with the way that you hear it and with what he's trying to depict. In the 1600s, he composed 3 great settings of the Mass, which are still heard all over the world. Single movements, the Kyrie, the Gloria, whatever. And he also then wrote 109 motets, an amazing amount of music from this man. Now, he also, in addition to all this choral music, he wrote a great deal of keyboard music. And this would have been music written for those early instruments, the harpsichord, and really before that, the virginal, which was like a very quiet version of the harpsichord. And so this book, which was called, I love this, it's called Parthenia. And Parthenia is a term here that actually refers to the fact of that since the queen was a virgin, he was writing for the virginal. And he says at the beginning, talk about florid. The virgin Parthenia, whilst yet I may, I offer up to your virgin highnesses, to you, gracious lady, even from the birth she was intended, and now I trust shall be more welcome, having learned to tune and twine together. And it goes on and on. It's very, very extraordinary. So he composed a number of dances, and one of them I would like to play for you is, if you can just imagine this is on a virginal or a harpsichord, was the galliard. And the galliard was one of those dances that was very athletic. It had leaps and jumps and hops. And at the end of the galliard, you could do it many times, but at the end of each verse, there was a big leap, 1 foot going in front of the other, and you held that position. It's said that Queen Elizabeth I loved the galliard, and that every morning as her exercise, she would dance 6 or 7 galliards. So here is a galliard by William Byrd. Have a wonderful day.